Number 1 says 8 pairs of jeans and 10 shirts cost $80. The cost of 9 pairs of jeans and 5 shirts is $65. Find the cost of each pair of jeans and each shirt. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put X equals and Y equals. That's the first thing you're going to do. X equals and Y equals. What are the 2 things I'm buying at the store? Jeans, right? Okay, so I'm going to put X as jeans, and I'm going to put Y as shirts. Shh. All right, now I'm going to read the first sentence, and I'm going to do it in the order it says. It says 8 pairs of jeans. So I'm going to put an 8. And for pairs of jeans, I'm going to put the letter X, so I don't have to write all that out. I'm going to put the letter X. So it's 8 pairs of jeans. And I'm buying 10 shirts, so I'm going to add that to my cart. All right, I'm going to add that to my cart. I'm going to add 10 shirts. But shirts is the letter Y, so I put a Y beside it. So shirts is Y, pairs of jeans is X. It cost $80, so I put equals 80. Equals 80. All right, now I'm going to read the next sentence. The cost of 9 pairs of jeans, so I put a 9. And for jeans, I put an X. Plus, I'm buying 5 shirts. So that's 5 in what letter? Y. Is, remember, is equals 65. Okay, now I have to think about what we learned yesterday. Is this one a plug it in, or a multiply, multiply, cancel, cancel? Okay, so I'm going to use my chart. You can use that thing we took notes on yesterday. The first question I asked myself, will something go ahead and cancel? Do 8 and 9 cancel? Do 10 and 5 cancel? Okay, so I go to case number 2. Can I multiply the smaller number and get the bigger number? So 8 smaller. Can you multiply 8 by something and get 9? 5 is smaller, so I go here next. Can I multiply 5 by something and get 10? 5 times 2. So I put parentheses around the bottom one. Hey. And I'm going to multiply it by 2. And then I'm going to think about my signs. So this is positive 10. Guys, stop, please. The only way to cancel out with positive 10 is to have a negative. Well, this is positive 5. To make it negative, I have to multiply by negative 2. Got to multiply by negative 2. All right. This top one is going to stay the same, so I'm going to just write it right here. Top one stays the same. This bottom one, I have to multiply by negative 2, right? What's negative 2 times 9? Good. So I'll write that right here. What's negative 2 times 5? All right, and here I'm going to have to do this one. 65 times 2, look, that means I have to have 65 twice. So I'm going to add that up. 5 and 5 is 10. 6 plus 6 is, plus 1 more is, so I get 130. But it's negative, because it was a negative times a positive. So that's negative 130. Shh. All right, I'm going to draw my line and put a plus out here. Draw my line and put a plus. All right, for 8 plus negative 18, I'm going to do a chart. So positive 8, negative 18. Move it, lose it. 10 is negative. So I get negative 10x. These two cancel. And I'm going to do a chart for this one. So positive 80, negative 130. Move it, lose it. So I get negative 50. All right, Tamara, what would you do next? Right here. Divide, Tamara, what's 50 divided by 10? What? 5. So X is 5. Please go back and write that up here next to jeans. So this person's going to, oh, this jeans cost $5 is what that means. Jeans cost $5. All right, I'm going to plug it back in to that one. It doesn't matter which one you plug it back into to find shirts. Ethan G, how do I plug in X equals 5 into this red one? What do I write? Good. All right, draw my line. Chuck, what's 9 times 5? 45. Jacob King, which one of these numbers moves to the other side? And I subtract it. Monica, what's 65 minus 45? 5 minus 5 is? And 6 minus 4 is? 2. So I get 5y equals 20. And Bishop, divide last. Bishop, what's 20 divided by 5? Close, 4. So I go back up here because that's y. So how much do shirts cost? $4. Shirts cost $4. Yes. You could, but we're not going to. Number 2, a landscape company is having a tree sale. 3 maple trees and 15 ash trees are on sale for $30. 2 maple trees and 4 ash trees are on sale for $11. What is the cost of 1 ash tree? All right, first thing I want to do is put X equals and Y equals. Zaria, what are the 2 types of trees that we are buying? Maple and ash. Remember, guys, if I write it down, you should write it down. So X is maple, Y is ash. It doesn't matter. I just always go in the order they go. So they said maple first, so I make that X, but it doesn't matter. Okay? All right. Ethan H., help me make this an equation. 3 maple trees, 15 ash trees cost $30. How would I make that an equation? Good. Chad, what would my next equation be? Good. All right, Dylan, is this a multiply, multiply, cancel, cancel, or a plug it in, plug it in? All right, for plug it in, one of them has to be already solved for. So that means it's which one? All right, so multiply, multiply, cancel, cancel. All right. Let's see who's up next. Haley, what do I ask myself first? Yes. Okay, so we're going to look at the smallest number. Gracie, can I multiply 2 by anything and make it a 3? Can I multiply 4 and make it 15? All right, I can't do that either. I can't make 4 a 15. So this one I've got to do the last case. I've got to put parentheses around both of them. Parentheses around both. And you're going to need a calculator for this one, okay? I would let you use a calculator, I promise, on the quiz if I gave you this question. So you will need a calculator for this one. All right, Daniel, if I have to multiply both of them, I pick the smallest pair. What's the smallest pair? All right, and what do I do with 3 and 2? All right, I switch them. Good. So I put a 2 up here and a 3 right there. Andrea, what do my signs need to be? Should they both be positive or should I make one negative? Good. Make one negative. All right, and you can use a calculator on this one. So Tamara, help me with this top one. I multiply everything by 2. What does that give me? 2 times 3. 6x. Keep going. Uh-huh. Good. All right, Andrew, help me with the bottom one. Multiply it by -3. Good. Make sure y'all have this written down, please. Daniel, what sign do I put out to the side? A plus. All right, Gracie, help me with this next step. +6 and -6. Good. You may use a calculator. Tamara, 30y minus 12y. Andrew, 60 minus 33.
27.
Good. All right, Bishop, what do I do last right here? All right, what's opposite of multiply? Divide. All right, you're going to have to use a calculator on this one. Jacob King, put that in our calculator for us. Put that in your calculator. 27 divided by 18. What? 2.5. Divided by 18? Oh, sorry. What does 1.5 mean as money? What's 1.5 mean? $1.50. So look, what letter is $1.50? Y. We got Y left. So I'm going to come back up here where I have a Y. I'm going to put 1.5. And then I'm going to read the question. What does the question ask at the very end? Good. Which one of these is Ash, X or Y? So I've answered the question. I don't have to do the last step because I've already answered the question. All they want to know is the cost of one ash tree. And ash tree was Y, which I found. So I'm done. Yes, Daniel. Number 3, the Athletic Booster sells t-shirts to raise money for the prom. The profit from 5 short sleeve shirts and 2 long sleeve t-shirts is 48. Profit from 3 short sleeve and 2 long sleeve is 32. How much profit do they earn for each long sleeve t-shirt sale? Monica, what do I want you to do first? Good. Put what X and Y are. Ethan G, what are the 2 different things that I'm selling? Good. Short and long are the 2 different ones. Dylan, what would my first equation be? Very good. Andrea, what would my next equation be? Three x plus 2 what? Uh-huh. Good. All right, Haley, is this a plug it in, or a multiply, cancel? Good. Chad, what's the first scenario on multiply, cancel? Yeah, see if something will go ahead and cancel. So when I look here, I see that I have both 2's. I've got a 2y and a 2y. So that's going to be pretty helpful. The problem is they're both what right now? Positive. They're both positive. What's the only way for them to cancel? Very good. A positive and a negative. Ethan H., how can I turn this one into a -2? What could I do? I can multiply it by -1. I can multiply it by -1. Chuck, what do you get when you multiply that bottom one by -1? All right, I'm not going to write as much on this one, so I'm just going to scribble this one out so I don't have to write as much. I multiplied it by -1. Sorry, what symbol do I put out to the side? Plus. All right, Jacob King, 5x and -3x. You got a calculator? 5 and -3. 5 plus -3. Two. It's -3. 5 plus -3. Tamara, what happens next? Okay, those cross out. Let's try to do this one without a calculator. It's just 48 minus 32. What's 8 minus 2?
8 minus 2 is
6. What's 4 minus 3? So I get 16. And Gracie, what do I do next? Divide by 2. And so I get x equals 8. Please go back and put this right here. That means short sleeve shirts cost $8. Short sleeve shirts cost $8. Andrea, what's the question want to know? What does a question ask? So we have to do the next step. We got to do the next step. Ethan G, help me plug 8 into one of the equations. What would I write? Good. Dylan, what would I do next right there? Good. All right, so without a calculator, what's 5 times 8? Who was that? Stop, whoever it is. Monica, what do you do next right there? What do I do right here? What do I do next? T-shirt, it's 4. Okay. If I have a question on that one. All right. Number 4, a school group sells gift cards and gift wrap for a fundraiser. 3 cards and 1 gift wrap sell for $20. 1 card and 1 gift wrap sell for $12. How much does each gift wrap cost? All right, so I hope for this one, X you put was cards and Y you put was gift wrap. And then for your 2 equations, it would be 3X plus 1Y is 20. And then 1x plus 1y is 12. Okay? All right, from here, Chuck, what do you have to ask yourself about this one? Yeah, does anything cancel? No. Daniel, how can I make something cancel? By what? You can multiply by -3 and get the same answer, or you can multiply by what? What else could you multiply besides -3? -1, and you would get the same answer as the other person, okay? I'm going to go with -1 because that's easier, but if you did -3, you'd get the same answer. All right, so that'd be -1x, -1y, and -12. And I crossed that one out. All right, Chad, what would I do next with what I have on the board? Good. All right, Haley, tell me what I get when I add them up. Good. And Dylan, what would I do next?
go back to the top.
Right here. All right, so you get x is 4. So I go back up here and put a 4. Ethan G, what is the question asking for? Have I found gift wrap yet? No, so I've got to do the next step. Gracie, help me plug in X is 4 to this top one. What would I write? Good. Jacob King, I got to multiply these. What does that give me? Use your calculator. Monica, what would you do next? I did that. It's 12. All right, and make it negative 12. So that gives you 8. When you divide by 1, y is 8. So that means gift wraps cost $8. That's the final answer. Make sure you circle the one they're asking for. Make sure you circle the one you're asking for. All right, Chuck, what did you put for your X and Y? Okay. Ethan G., what do you have for your first equation? Chad, what do you have for your next equation? All right, Gracie, tell me one thing I need to ask myself or one thing I need to do with all that. Does something canceled? No, good. All right, so then I go to case number 2. Daniel, what do I do for case number 2? Since nothing's going to cancel, what do I look at now? The smaller number. So can I multiply 3 by anything and make it a 6?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Tamara, what can I multiply by? What can I multiply 3 by? Okay, now you also have to ask yourself, should it be a positive 2 or a negative 2? This is a positive 6, so I need that to be a negative 6, right? Okay. All right. Andrew, what do you get when you multiply this top one by negative 2? What do you get?
Negative 10x minus 6y negative 2.
All right, without a calculator, Haley, without a calculator, what's 3 plus negative 10? Positive or negative? Negative 7x. Sorry, what happens to positive 6y and negative 6y? Very good. All right, Dylan, without a calculator, help me right here. 42 and negative 52. Okay, so let's look. 42 is positive, 52 is negative. Do you know what I do next on my chart? You move the smaller one. So you move the 42, and if you move it, you lose it. You subtract them. So what's 52 minus 42? 10. And it is negative. Did I do something wrong?
Nope.
Yeah, I did, right here. This should be negative 56. That's why we were that's. I know, Dylan. All right, so it is 14. Negative 14. Okay. Monica, what do you do next? Monica, how many times will 7 go into 14? 2. And it's positive. All right, so 2 is x, which means 2 is the cost of a what? A drink. It says find the cost of a turkey leg, so I do have to do the next step. Andrea, help me plug in x is 2 into one of the equations. What would I write? How would I plug x equals 2 into one of my equations? Thank you. Ethan H., what would I do next right here? All right, so that gives me 36. And Tamara, what do you do last? Tamara, how many times? Very good. So the cost of a turkey leg is $6. All right, try your Oyo.